The rain was merciless that night, crashing against the glass walls of the towering city skyline like shattered memories. Down below, a man in a soaked suit stood motionless beside his car, his chest rising with quiet rage and exhaustion. His name was Adrian Cole, once a simple man, now the youngest CEO in one of the city's most powerful corporations. But at that moment, drenched beneath the storm, even his wealth couldn't save him from the emptiness clawing inside. He had built an empire, yet lost the one thing that mattered most: peace. And then, out of nowhere, a fragile figure appeared through the sheets of rain. A woman struggling to hold an umbrella against the wind. Her clothes were modest, her face pale, her steps hesitant but brave. She stopped beside him, looking at him with a flicker of recognition. He didn't know it then, but this woman, this stranger, had once saved him long before he ever became someone worth remembering. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the beauty of helping others even when life feels cold, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need healing. Years ago, before the luxury cars and corner offices, Adrian was just a single father struggling to survive after losing his wife to illness. He worked late nights at a repair shop, leaving his little daughter, Emily, with neighbors while he fixed cars till dawn. The bills piled up faster than the repairs he could manage, and his heart often broke each time Emily asked if her mother was coming home. One night after a brutal day, Adrian sat on a park bench, drenched in his own hopelessness. He had just been fired for standing up to a corrupt supervisor who stole workers' wages. The city felt like a cruel, silent monster devouring dreams. That's when she appeared, Maya. She was a nursing student sitting quietly with a small umbrella and a cup of coffee in her hand. When she noticed him shivering under the rain, she offered her umbrella, even though she clearly needed it more. He refused at first, but she smiled, genuine and gentle, and said, "You look like someone who's been carrying rain inside his heart for too long." Those words, soft as they were, hit him harder than thunder. She bought him a coffee, shared a sandwich, and before leaving, slipped a crumpled note into his hand. It read, "Don't let the world make you hard. The right doors open for the kind-hearted." He never saw her again after that. But that night, he promised himself he'd make something of his life, for Emily, and for that stranger who believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. Years passed. Adrian climbed his way up through sheer grit and sleepless nights, from a mechanic to an engineer, then to a project lead, and eventually, through both talent and luck, to CEO of the very company that once overlooked him. He never forgot her. That girl with the umbrella, the one who saw something in him that he himself couldn't see. And now, fate brought her back. That night in the storm, Maya was no longer a carefree student. She was a nurse, exhausted, overworked, and barely holding on. Adrian noticed her trembling hands, her tired eyes, the slight limp in her step. When he thanked her for stopping, she smiled faintly and said she recognized his face from a company billboard. "You've done well," she said softly, trying to hide her shiver. He offered to drive her home. She refused, saying she didn't want to bother him. But then a flash of lightning revealed bruises on her wrist, faint but visible. His heart clenched. He didn't press her then, but something deep inside him stirred. He knew pain when he saw it. Over the next few days, he couldn't stop thinking about her. He called in a few favors, found her workplace, and one evening, showed up outside the hospital. She was walking alone, clutching her bag tightly as if afraid someone might take it. When she saw him, surprise flooded her eyes, but also fear. He told her gently, "You saved me once, Maya. Now it's my turn to protect you." At first, she resisted. She told him about her abusive ex, a man who had once promised love but only delivered control and violence. She had been hiding, moving from place to place, working double shifts to pay debts that weren't even hers. She didn't want help. She said she'd already been someone's burden once, but Adrian wouldn't leave her alone in that darkness. He offered her a job as his company's private nurse, ensuring she'd be safe, paid well, and respected. She accepted reluctantly. Life slowly changed. Maya began to find light again, not through luxury or status, but through the kindness that came from Adrian and his little girl, Emily. Emily, now 8, adored Maya. She'd wait by the door every evening just to hand her a flower she picked from the garden. For the first time in years, Maya laughed again. But happiness, it seemed, was always brief. One night, her past came knocking, literally. Her ex tracked her down. He waited near her apartment, drunk and furious, demanding money. She called no one, too afraid to bring danger to those who had shown her love. She ran through the night streets again, just like she used to. But this time, Adrian was already on his way. He had a gut feeling something was wrong. He found her cornered in an alley, trembling as rain poured once more. Without hesitation, he stepped between them. The man lunged, and Adrian took the blow meant for her. Blood mixed with rain, pain with fury. But he didn't back down. He had lost too much in life to let kindness be punished again. When police sirens finally echoed through the alley, Maya collapsed beside him, crying not from fear, but from the unbearable truth she couldn't lose another person who cared. Days later, Adrian woke up in a hospital bed. Maya was by his side, her eyes swollen from crying, her hand clutching his like she'd never let go. He tried to speak, but she hushed him. "Why did you do it?" she whispered. His answer was simple. "Because you once gave me hope when I had nothing. This time, it's my turn to give you peace." Their bond deepened after that. It wasn't a fairy tale romance with roses and music, it was something quieter, stronger, a connection built on gratitude, pain, and healing. Maya moved into his home, not out of charity, but out of belonging. Emily saw her not as a stranger, but as the mother she never had. Together, they built something far more valuable than wealth, trust. Months later, at a charity event hosted by Adrian's company, he publicly thanked the woman who saved a broken man under the rain. The audience thought he was speaking metaphorically. Only Maya understood the truth. She stood at the back, tears shining in her eyes, realizing that kindness given in small moments can echo for years. Sometimes the universe doesn't repay you immediately. Sometimes it waits for the perfect moment, when you're at your weakest, to remind you that the good you send out will always find its way back. Maya looked at Adrian across the crowd, and he smiled at her. No longer the man lost in storms, but one who had finally found his home. If this story touched your heart, if you believe love and kindness can rebuild even the most broken souls, please like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to our channel so more people can feel hope again. Every share could remind someone that second chances are real. Because sometimes, saving one person can end up saving two.